right, guys, back in the shop, okay? We are continuing on, working on stimulus check, getting it ready to mount the seat. I don't actually have the bar yet to do it, so I'm just gonna kind of go over a few things on the cage and just go over, give you guys a little bit of an idea on how I was able to get to some of the hard to reach areas on the cage with the TIG welder. I'm gonna be cautious with this because just for the simple fact that I'm not an expert at this and I don't like to give too much advice on things that I don't know a lot about. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and tell you how I was able to get to some of these areas that are really like tough to get to. Okay, so what my setup here, my welding setup has, I got this off of Amazon. It's a dual regulator. Okay, so one goes to my TIG welder, okay, to the back of the TIG welder. The other is basically a purge line that you can purge with. Okay, so like when you're doing exhaust or whatever, you know, you plug one end with your whatever you want to plug it with, tin foil or however you do it, and you can back purge, you know, your piece that you're working on, so it has a nice weld on the inside as well. So basically what I did was I have a ferrite cup here that I have a couple extras, number 12 cup, and kind of like taped it onto this tube here to, you know, seal it off. And what I did was I set up my TIG gun to have a really long stick out. Okay, so I'm going to try to hold the camera and do this at the same time here. So if you loosen this up, you can move this stick out really far. Hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, so you move your stick out. I mean, I don't know, that's probably 2-3 inches out there. So, you know, just in that configuration there, if you tried to weld something, it's going to come out like crap. It's going to be all oxygen, you know, all the oxygen is going to get to the weld and it's going to start popping and snapping and it's going to burn your tungsten. Okay, so that wouldn't work just doing it like that. So what you have to do is what I did was I would tape this, okay, up into an area. Say I was up here, okay, I would tape this up on this bar, all right, and I would basically like flood the area with argon. Okay, so, and then what I also did was I took some, I don't have it here right now because I've already used it, but some tin foil. Okay, so imagine, let's just pretend, I guess this is some tin foil or whatever. You kind of like put it behind your piece, kind of wrap it around whatever you're doing, and pretty much you're creating like a little atmosphere, like a little spot where the argon will collect, and then it kind of like gets the oxygen out of there. So then once you do that, I was running the gas around 15 on the meter here. So whatever that's, I don't know, I'm not sure the name of that, but you know what I mean. So I was running about 15 on that, and then I cranked this up too. I cranked it up to around 25 to 30 to get more gas towards the end. And then I'm able to, if you see, like I'm able to get way up in there. If you know, if you can imagine, I can get way up in there. I can get way up in here. So you can hear it. I can tap all the way to the top of the tube up there, and you can see where I've welded it. Now, the weld's not pretty because it's actually really difficult to get up there with your filler rod. So with the filler rod, I was having to, let's see if I have a piece. Just a little extra piece. Well, I don't have another piece laying around, but you can imagine, let's say this is my filler rod. I was bending it a little bit, okay? Putting a little bit of bend in it. And then I could, you know, basically come from the side, or I could come from behind this side, you know, come from over here, and I could kind of dab here. But as you can see, I mean, my weld is not great here. It's much better in areas like this. I actually started painting it on that side too. But you guys kind of get the idea of how I was able to get up into those tight spots. Is this the right way to do it? I don't know. Like, this is just something I tried. I saw someone doing it on YouTube. You know, I was YouTubing videos on how to get to those areas, and someone did it like that with tinfoil. So I gave it a try. It works, but it's still not easy. Okay. Yeah, it's still definitely not that easy. So I was able to get up in there. This actually looks really good, that weld. And I started painting it right here. I was trying to decide, so I was testing out a few different paints. I was trying to decide on which one to use. So I basically scuff it up with some Scotch-Brite. I have, let's see, that brown Scotch-Brite right there. And I'm scuffing up the bars, and then I put the self-etching primer on there. And I tried 3 different paints. I tried this one first, this hammered finish kind of a look, but I didn't like it because it came out looking a little brown. So, and it's black, but it came out looking brown for some reason. I don't know why, but and then I also wanted to try the flat. So I have some Rust-Oleum flat, and I also have some of the gloss black. Okay. So the gloss black came out looking the best. It looks like that's the one I'm gonna go with. So I really like the way that looks. Not sure if it's gonna come through on camera or not, how that looks, but I like it. So this is just a little test spot I did just to see how I like it. I'm not gonna completely paint it yet because I still have to do this bar. I still have to mount a bar here for the back of the seat. That's actually supposed to be here today at some time. I'm not sure. I'll have to run up there and look at the front of my property, that bar. So another thing I did was, I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. I don't remember. I've got the two standoffs here that are holding the column in, okay? That, you know, I got rid of this bracket. This bracket here, this is, I don't know, this might weigh a pound or something, and those little standoffs don't weigh much, maybe half of that. So got rid of a little bit of weight there, and then also I added this little gusset here and put some lightning holes in it to attach the dash bar to the top of the firewall, or whatever you call this. I'm not sure what you call that, but just to give it some more support, so that it's all like, this is all one piece now, okay? So, and what I wanna do, what my plan is to do with this being supported better, is I wanna remove all this bracketry here that goes from the top of the firewall down to the trans tunnel. I wanna remove this. It's a big bracket. It goes all the way to the firewall, all the way to the top, and then all the way down here. I want to get rid of that just to give me some more room behind the dash, so I'm not like having to run wires through this piece here, and where they can get, you know, caught on and all that. So I want to remove that. There's a couple other things I want to remove too, and I'm actually, like, I was thinking, you know, if you guys know anything else that I could cut out that, you know, I haven't thought of, you know, let me know in the comments. But there's also some metal here, okay? This piece here is like kind of reinforced, okay? Because that's where the seat belt's hooked to. And I'm thinking of just cutting this out all through here. I know that when you mini tub, you have to cut this out anyway. You know, you cut this out so it disconnects this anyway. So I don't think that that's going to be needed, since my seat belts are going to be mounted to the roll cage. I don't really need those seat belt mounts. So that's a pretty thick piece of metal on both sides. So there's some weight there I could remove. But yeah, everything's coming along really good. I got some more parts coming. We ordered a bunch of stuff. Ordered some tires. I'm changing tires off of the white car. The tires that are on there are getting kind of dry rotted. Let me go out there and show you guys. They're just getting really, like, I don't know. I think it's time to change them. They're making some funny noises too whenever I'm going down the track. I'm feeling like a weird vibration, but I mean, they're in pretty good shape, but they're about 3 years old. And I don't know if it'll come through on video, but they're just getting kind of shiny on the sidewall, and that usually means like they're drying out. Okay, the moisture is like dried out of them, and they're starting to, I don't know, they just don't look quite right. So I ordered some new tires there. I ordered the 275 60 15 Pro radials. So pretty much the standard, what everybody uses. And I know they do fit with a little bit of massaging here. I'm gonna cut pretty much this whole lip off and beat the life out of the wheel well to get it to fit good, because I don't want it to rub. And I know it's possible because I did it on my last car. If you clearance it enough with a sledgehammer, it doesn't rub. So yeah, so that's where we're at there. I've got the steering wheel ordered. I went ahead and ordered also a strange quick release, because I think that I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to get that strange quick release. I was going to kind of make my own adapter, but I really like the fact that the steering wheel can come off, on and off when I want, because of just the convenience of working on it, okay, and getting in and out. Not that it's going to be a big problem getting in and out. I mean, this is not like a 25.5 chassis or anything like that. You know, there's no bars coming up here or anything. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. But like if you wanted to get up underneath and work on something under the dash, the steering wheel gets in the way sometimes. So it'll be nice to be able to remove that. So we got that coming. We also have, what else do we buy? Yeah, tires, all the steering stuff. Can't think of anything else that I've bought for it. But yeah, that's just pretty much an update on this car. The cage is coming out really nice. I'm really happy with the way it came out. You know, like I said, some of the welding on the top doesn't look great, but it's welded all the way around, so that's what matters. What else? Yeah, I mean, the next step is going to be pretty much to start ripping more of this stuff out. I got to pull off this rear end, tires, the gas tank needs to come out. And I've been working a little bit more on this bodywork here. It looks pretty good. It's starting to get a little better. This spot right here is the spot that's my biggest problem. You can see that if I take this little straight edge here and put it up against, it goes this way. So if I put this up against here, you can kind of see there's like a gap, like right there, there's a gap, okay? And then we come over to this side and we'll do the same thing, put it on the same spot, and there's no gap, okay? Hopefully y'all can see that through this camera. But so like I said, I'm still working on this little section right here that is still pushed in a little bit. I keep adding filler and then trying to shape it. Add filler and then shape it. So I know that, you know, since I do want to paint this car black, I don't know, I just kind of want to try that. And I know that if I do, I'm not 100% decided on that yet, but if I do go with black, your panels need to be pretty straight. If not, it'll show up. It'll look bad. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys the way I did the welding. And don't be afraid to experiment with your TIG welder. I mean, give it that stick out and give it a try. Like, just practice on a piece. I did. I actually have some of the tubing that I cut off. I was using it to practice. You can see over here, I got all kinds of little practice spots that I did on here. to get my settings, you know, where I wanted them. And then you can do the stick out and try to flood it with the argon and just try it, you know, see what works. It's definitely tricky, but it's definitely doable. I'm not sure if that's how other people do it. I know that some people will cut a hole in the floor and then kind of drop the cage down. I'm not really sure how I would have done that with this particular cage, because if I drop it down, how would I have gotten it back on top of that bar in the back? You know, because like on a regular cage, the bars come all the way to the back here and then rest on a flat plate where they can move. See, they can move in and out. Whereas these are already, you know, their radius and everything, they fit right on this bar perfect. So they're not movable. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, how would that work if I was to cut holes and try to drop it down, weld the top? How would I get it back on top of that bar? But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you learned something on the welding aspect. But, you know, experiment yourself and do a lot of research. That's what I did. So anyway, check you all next time.